want to talk about rolling from the baseline. When you're dropping, there are times when you will roll your drop, there's times when you'll come under your drop, but we also have to think about how does that tie all of pickleball together? Because if we're practicing dropping and rolling drops from the baseline, well, that also goes hand in hand with how we're volleying. So for this drill, I want you to think of two things. The person at the net is working on rolling, and I see this drill numerous times a day, and every time the person at the net has a high ball, they're trying to kill it. And that's not the purpose of the drill. If that's what you're trying to do, that means the person at the baseline working on drops has no objective, they're just trying to drop, and the person at the net is just trying to kill the ball. So if the person at the baseline is working on dropping in the defensive part of the kitchen, then the person at the net won't be able to kill it anyways. And just like earlier when we talked about rolling cross court where we're barely moving, when I'm at the net, the balls that I'm gonna now roll should be below the net. And so I'm just gonna roll up instead of just blocking it back. And what's the purpose? The purpose of rolling when somebody's trying to come in off of a third shot or fifth shot drop is to simply push them back. I'm trying to push them on their back foot that hopefully I do get a ball that's high enough that then I can attack. But the purpose of the drill is not to attack. It's to roll the ball to be able to force my partner that's working with me on their back foot. The goal of my partner is to then have a more difficult ball of which they're gonna try to drop in the defensive part of the kitchen. Notice when we're doing this drill, I'm keeping my posture, my hips are forward, I'm squatting like I'm in a table, I'm sitting in a chair at a table and I'm just popping up. The power is coming from my legs to my shoulders. I'm not trying to kill it, I'm just trying to push my opponent on their back foot. All of these balls I could let drop, but by taking it out of the air, I'm taking away their reaction time. It's important to understand that by reaching in and taking these balls out of the air, I'm taking away my opponent's reaction time. I could let them bounce, I could hit a successful drop, and we would still be in the point. I wouldn't be behind in the point, but I also wouldn't be ahead. By taking that ball out of the air and rolling it back to keep him on his back foot, I'm now staying one step further ahead in the point because he's not able to get to the kitchen line. That's the objective. So again, when I'm here and I'm reaching forward, I'm just trying to hit up in the ball and roll it so he's on his back foot. Very cooperative drill. I'm just rolling nice and easy. You should have pain in your legs at the end of this drill because you're squatting and lifting, squatting and lifting. But by doing that, you're gonna get great at rolling. And then when you get back in a dinking rally, you'll be shocked at how easy it is just to simply roll the ball cross court. Now let's take a look at if I go back to the baseline. I want you to notice that the backswing's not gonna be different. It's just gonna allow me to catch the ball a little bit later because I'm coming under it a little bit more, which is really helpful when you have somebody rolling a ball with spin that's pushing you back. It'll look like this. So here, he's rolling it. I'm gonna lift one. Notice I'm still aiming for the same part of the kitchen when I'm rolling it. Doesn't matter if I drop it, if I roll it, I'm still going up and I'm going to the short part of the kitchen. The posture's still there, my paddle's in front. I'm just rolling up on the ball a little bit more, and this would be coming under it a little bit more. It doesn't matter which one you choose. What matters is where you're hitting it in the kitchen. Here's the difference between the two. How good is your opponent on getting the next one? If you can drop it really low, that's great. By putting a little spin on, all you're really getting is the ability to catch the ball a little bit later. So the shot that you hit is going to depend on the shot that your opponent is hitting. But now you have options when you think about it. So what I would suggest, you have a ball, I would go out and I would do 5 drops where you're coming under it. So it looked like this. If I'm just coming under it, 1, I'm aiming for the defensive part, 2, 3, you get the idea. Once I get to 5, I would do the same drill now where I'm going to try to roll these balls. So I start getting comfortable with it. Nothing wild. I'm just coming up on the ball just a little bit. And the reason why also that I like to roll is because then I can drive. A lot of times when we set the ball here, people are expecting us to drop. When we start to change it up or even put 2 hands on the backhand, you can drive it where it's not as expected. I think the best drops come from a strong foundational point of your legs. They come from the paddle always being in front of us, but they come from knowing where we're hitting the ball and why we're hitting it there. If we can always know our options and always know exactly where we're hitting it, we'll continue to be successful.